Ross took that picture. Ross was a huge part of my life. He was my coach, my boss, my lab partner, my mentor, and one of my very best friends. He was one of the closest members of my debate family, and as you can tell, losing him still hurts like hell. It's impossible to sum up 20 years of experiences with Ross in a short time, so I'm going to try to focus on the 3 biggest lessons that I've taken from him that influenced my life and my coaching. First, Ross taught me about determination. My first semester in college didn't go so well. Ross called me in to discuss my grades, and in the middle of the conversation, he interrupted me and asked, "Well, what do you want as a debater?" I stammered something about wanting to be Wake's A-team and then cringed, waiting for him to laugh. And he did give me that annoyed look that he sometimes got, and he said, "Huh, that's it?" Well, at that point, I realized that if I worked harder, I could be one of the best teams in the country. Because of Ross, I set my sights higher. The moment he said, "That's it," my life changed. Ross had high expectations for me, and all you know what that's like to have to live up to. And I've spent the majority of my time in debate, as a debater, as a coach, as a member of the community, determined to meet those expectations. Whenever I hit a wall or feel like the odds are insurmountable, I hear Ross say, "That's it," and I renew my commitment and my determination to do my very best. Second, Ross taught me about kindness. Despite the occasionally gruff demeanor, Ross was actually a big teddy bear. He could even be sappy. He brought me and Marcia those pink Hostess snowball cupcake things at Northwestern on Elam Day because it was Valentine's Day. He spent days making me a debate crossword puzzle one year for the Christmas party because he knew I liked crossword puzzles. When I lost my last debate, he brought me a bag of one of our favorite snacks, a bag of garlic bagel chips, and on it he wrote, "Love Ross" in Sharpie. And I still have the goofy gold and black Wake winter hat that he gave all of us when my class of graduate students graduated. That kindness didn't stop when I left Wake. Over the years, he was always there for me with a big hug and that great smile. Now that's not to say that we didn't have our moments. Ross was a stubborn man, and those of you who know me know that I'm pretty stubborn too. During the retreat my junior year, we had one of our epic fights. It was about a debate argument. There was a lot of yelling, there was profanity, names were called, motives were questioned, lines were drawn. Every door in that old house in Fancy got slammed that day repeatedly. And of course I thought I was right and he was wrong, and of course he thought the reverse. Though I'm pretty sure over the course of the day we probably switched sides on the argument we were fighting about a dozen times. And at the end of the day, when I was sitting on the front porch, he brought me a cup of coffee, and we shared a smoke, and everything was okay again, just like that. What did we spend the whole day fighting about? Whether or not the AF plan had to specify an agent. And that was all settled with a cup of coffee. Third, Ross taught me about loving the game and everyone in it. He's always been the one I turned to when I needed anything, advice about coaching, strategies, theory, running tournaments. I still find myself turning to him, asking him in a lot of situations this year, what would Ross do? Why? Because I know he loved the game, and I knew I could always trust his advice. He also loved all the people in the game and was always a gracious competitor. At the NDT last year, when my team made it to the quarters, one of the people I was happiest to share it with was Ross. He had that look of total excitement on his face, that sparkle in his eye, and he gave me one of those huge hugs that almost knocked me over. He told me he was proud of me, and that meant the world to me. He made me value every minute I had at tournaments, but especially the ones I spent with him. I still look for him at tournaments, when filling out the prefs, when I walk outside the building. I swear I keep thinking I hear his voice in the hall, or when I judge on a panel that I think he would have been on with me. I've missed him at every tournament, every minute of it, but until now I missed him the most at Harvard. There's a spot that's special to me at the Harvard Hotel. That's actually, the hotel this year was where I debated. The hallway outside the room where I debated in the Octas my junior year. Before that round, Ross had been trying to convince me we could win the debate, and to emphasize that point, he kept pounding his fists on the floor like a little kid. And his excitement, as always, was contagious. This year, after the finals of Harvard, after I judged all day, I went to that spot to thank him for teaching me to love the game, and to thank him for being one of the people in the game that I loved and missed the most. I know he would have been proud of me and my team for our performance, and in my head, I heard him say, "Good job, coach." But I still miss getting that big hug that I had gotten at the NDT. Lastly, I want to make sure to thank again Jane, Alex, happy birthday, and the entire Smith family for sharing him with us for so many years. He was such an important part of our family. He taught me about determination, kindness in the midst of competition, and to love the game and everyone in it. For all those things, I will be forever grateful. I love you and miss you, Ross. Thanks, Coach.
Ross got it together one year to send out a brochure to the Wake Debate Institute. Early enough that it came in April to Spokane, Washington. That was unheard of. I don't think that ever happened again. If he hadn't have done that, I never would have known of Wake Forest. I never would have come to Wake Forest for 3 straight debate institutes. I never would have gotten to be part of, building with Alan and Ross what has become a legendary and deservingly legendary debate program. We owe you so much. Jane, Alex, this family, we owe you so much. I wouldn't have met my wife. I wouldn't have this great little girl. And I thank you. We will always remember your son, your husband, your father, your brother. We loved him dearly. Thank you.